Is your Jesus evil? Here are some truthful thoughts that can help you escape the gross delusion foisted on you by those who were themselves deceived by Satan's attacks on Christianity. These thoughts represent the type of right thinking prevalent amongst those who have refused to bow to peer pressure, opting instead to please the one who paid such a price to give them a second chance. He would not have created intelligent beings had he known they were to be forever miserable. To suppose that God would bring beings into existence who he knew would be infinite losers by that existence is to charge him with the utmost malignity. The existence itself would not be a blessing but a curse, the greatness of which cannot be described. As God is infinite in knowledge and as he sees the end from the beginning, he must have known before the creation the result of the existence he was about to confer, and whether upon the whole it would be a blessing. And as he was not under any necessity to create man, being also infinitely benevolent, he could not have conferred an existence that he knew would end in the worst possible consequences to his creatures. God inspires the hearts of the good to pray for the salvation of all men, and say, as Jesus said, "Thy will be done." Matt 6:10. Adam Clarke says, "Because he wills the salvation of all men, therefore he wills that all men should be prayed for," as in 1 Tim 2:1. I exhort therefore that first of all supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men. Would God inspire the hearts of his saints to pray for the salvation of all mankind, if he knew they would not all be saved? God is wise, and it cannot be a dictate of wisdom to create beings, and then make their existence a curse by entailing endless suffering to it. God foresaw all the consequences of our creation when he made us. He knew fully what the result would be to each individual. Is it possible that infinite goodness could breathe life into unoffending dust when it was clearly foreseen that endless evil would ensue? It was not possible. God must have created only to bless. Love worketh no ill. The pleasure of God is in favor of the salvation of all men, and therefore neither death, sin, nor pain can be the ultimate object of God in reference to man. Death and sin and pain may exist for a time, but if God has no pleasure in them of themselves, they are not the end at which he aims, but the means by which he accomplishes that end. The end in which God rests as his pleasure, design, or purpose must be essentially benevolent, because he is essentially a benevolent God. God is almighty. Nothing can resist his will. Nothing can defeat his purpose. Nothing can prevent the fulfillment of his promise. What he had promised he was able to perform. If God were not almighty, then the world might not be saved. But he is almighty. None can stay his hand or say unto him, "What doest thou?" And therefore in God's own time, and that is the best time, and by his own means, the whole world shall be saved.